We acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of the Adelaide region, and we pay our respects to all elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to Behind the Content podcast with myself, Lex.
And me, Mads.
Both experts in content creation with a combined 16 years of experience.
Join us as we bring you behind the scenes of our lives as business owners, deep diving into the rise of iPhone wedding content, aligning with your purpose, the wedding industry, and everything in between.
You will hear from industry experts, talented creators, as well as couples sharing their journeys and insights from their own weddings.
Get comfy and let's grow together as we cover all things wedding content and more weekly. Episode 8.
Episode 8. So good.
What the heck?
Lucky number 8.
Our little squeals are getting in sync now. Sorry, it's here.
We are so keen for this particular episode.
Oh,
we just spoke with Alexis
from Love is in the Air Co.
She is a Vegas content creator. She reached out to us wanting to jump on the pod, and fucking love that vibe. Like, if you don't ask, you shall not receive.
Exactly.
Like, here for it. If you're a content creator anywhere in the world and you want to jump on the pod,
do it.
Please DM us. We would love to chat with you.
The whole reason this pod's here is because I asked Lexicon if she wanted to do she wanted to do this dorky podcast with me, and now it's not a dorky podcast, and we love doing it. I was like, yay, so cute.
So we chatted with Alexis about all things wedding content and her journey, but also what it's like being a Vegas wedding content
and the
creator.
Weddings there are as cool as they sound.
Literally.
She was saying things, and I'm like, what? That is so cool.
We were like, wow, that's so nuts, but so different. So yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to hear this episode. Goes for about 50 minutes.
So much value. So much value she had to offer. So great.
She offered some really amazing advice for wedding content creators as well. So I think it's just going to be incredible. And if you are looking at getting married in Vegas, she's also offered some great advice there too. So very excited. Yeah. What else? Anything else, Maddie?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, so good. Anyway, stay tuned for that, and we would love to hear your thoughts about this episode. And if you want more like this,
because they're fun. It's great. I feel like they say triangles are good because there's 3 points.
Triangles,
like when you're taking a
people.
photo and it's the same conversation when there's 3. It's great.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. So cool. Have a listen, and we hope you enjoy it. Alexis, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Hi.
We're so happy to have you.
We're just so keen. Obviously, we were just chatting for a little bit just to get to know you a bit more and see how your weekend was and all these things. So we're just so keen to have you here. We'd love you to introduce yourself a little bit to our audience and give yourself a cheeky plug as well of what your name is on socials and all this stuff.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. We already had a really good conversation to start, so I'm super excited to see where this goes. I know it's going to be really fruitful and helpful, I hope, to other people in the wedding content creation industry. But my name is Alexis. I am a wedding content creator here in Las Vegas. You can find me on Instagram at Love is in the Air Co. I called my business that because for me, I love when I go to a wedding and I can feel the love in the air. I know for me, I can tell when I'm like, this wedding is just so full of love. The couple love each other. It's just an ambiance. It's fun to be there. It just feels good and makes your heart feel warm and fuzzy. And that's really what I want my business to be about and what I want to capture. And yeah, I've been doing it about a year now. I'm rolling up on my 1-year anniversary. So this is perfect timing.
Yay.
I'm really excited to chat with you.
Congrats. Happy 1 year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it sounds so authentic. So authentic. I just love that.
Yeah. I think coming up with a name is so hard as a wedding content creator because there's just so many names out there that are already taken.
Yeah.
Or
there's only so many things
obvious.
you can have with content or socials or but you've managed to do it without any of that in this. That's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've seen some pretty good names though.
Some good ones?
I've seen some good ones.
Yeah. Like what?
I saw Seal the Deal Social. I think that's actually a really cute name.
Cool. Yeah.
Of course, like the big ones, you know, BTS Bride, Cupid Content Co. All of those are super cute.
Love those.
But yeah, there's a lot of really cute. I think Candid Content is one of them. There's a lot
Mm.
of really cute
Mm.
names out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We have very similar names.
We do. We do have very similar names.
But I feel like
It just works.
yeah.
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 Is that
Yeah.
planned or on accident?
No.
Not planned at
No.
all.
No.
Mine was like a very last, I'll be honest, I didn't like really get creative with my name. I was more just like messaging people and I was like, we'll be your wedding creator. And then because originally I was Madeline Erigo Content because I have a photography business as well. And then I was sending girls to weddings and they were like, hey, Madeline. And they're like, my name's Sammy. Like, I'm not Maddie. And so I was like, this is not going to, I need to separate it completely from, I want the girls to get credit for the work that they do when I say who made the reels and stuff. So now it's your wedding creator and we show up and yeah, everyone gets their name in the paper basically.
I love that.
Yeah. That's what they say for a football goal, isn't it? Get your name in the paper.
Cam interview. So
Oh,
yeah, we'll see how we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Winging it.
I'm excited to be the first.
Yeah.
You never forget your first.
Love is in the air already.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
Cool. All right, let's get started with one of our first questions that we're really interested in. What is your origin story? Like, how did you get into the world of wedding content?
So, for wedding content creation specifically, I got married last September. And throughout my process, I got married in California, even though I'm from Vegas. And when I was in California talking with our wedding team and the planner that came with the venue, she was just going through the list, you know, like who's your photographer, who's your DJ, who's your florist, and then she's like, who's your content creator? And I'm like, my what?
That's really good. For what, like,
Yeah.
did you say last September?
Yeah, last
So
September.
it's
So
6
like
months ago.
6 months ago. Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's like a standard question now.
It is, at least in California, like
For
we were
sure.
kind of chatting about. I do think in California it's much bigger and more standard. I don't know if I can curse on here, but I was like, that's the
Yeah,
most
absolutely.
California shit I've ever heard. Like a content creator, like what is that? Are they just like my paparazzi? I was
What the
so
shit?
confused
Literally.
because I think when you hear content creator right now, you think, you know, TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, social media
Influencer.
influencer. And so planner told me about it. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I start doing my research. And for us, we were not hiring a videographer. It just was not in our budget. And I just personally was not interested in having like a 10-minute long video. That just for me was not something that we wanted. Um, and so I looked into it and I was like, yep, I'm going to do it. And so I ended up hiring a content creator for our wedding. Shout out San Diego content creator, Ashley. She is amazing. And she's actually been a really big influence and supporter for me starting my business after the fact.
Collaboration over community
Yes.
over.
Yeah,
and
over
yeah,
She's,
that's the one.
yes, she's been amazing. And she's grown her
So good.
business crazily. I mean, it's huge, but she had one of her associates do my content, and I was obsessed because I had all the raw content on my phone. I had my whole ceremony. I mean, I feel like once a week I still look in my phone and I watch my ceremony because that was just the most sentimental, special part for me.
So nice.
And I was like, this I think was the best investment that I made in my entire wedding. I wish I got more hours. I wish I spent more money. I wish I would have known about it sooner and made that a bigger priority.
Yeah. It's so nice to hear someone say that like out loud. I feel like I'm always saying it, you're always saying, but like hearing someone else say it, it's like, oh yes, thank God. Someone's saying
Yeah,
it.
and so then, I mean, we booked it, but we hadn't done it yet. So I knew what it was, but I hadn't experienced it yet when I decided to start my business. And I just saw that there was this gap here. I mean, there was maybe 2 or 3 people doing it so far. And I kind of realized, even though I was in the middle of wedding planning, I was in the middle of changing my job, I had so much going on. I was like, this is one of those make it or break it moments. I either have to just go for it now when there's an opportunity, or I have to just not do it. I decided to do it. And here we
So
are.
good. We love that. I think that we resonate with that though. It's like
100%.
go with it when your gut tells you to go with it. Like it's just going to be,
Yeah. Take the risk.
you're going to regret it otherwise. I think
100%.
like you will just regret not, like you regret the decisions that you, like the things that you don't do.
I'd rather say
things.
oops than what if. Like,
exactly.
At least we went for
Yeah,
it.
same here.
Yeah, love that. And like you said, there were only a couple. So it's like there were already people doing it, which is great. So there was already a demand for it.
Yeah.
But then doing it your way. And now obviously you can see how many different creators there are in Vegas as well. And now you're
Yes.
cemented enough. You're almost a year into it now, so it's like you have your bearings and you've got your kind of you sunk your teeth into it a bit, which is great. So good to hear.
And now you're in the education space because you're doing podcasts. So that's great.
I know. Who would have thought I'd be here? It's very exciting. But yeah, now I want to say there's at least 10, maybe 12, just here in Vegas. And Vegas is very, very small. I mean, it's big, but it's small in the same sense, especially when it comes to the different niches. So, like, especially the luxury space is small. There's really only a handful of planners that really dominate the luxury space here.
Right.
So it's been a journey, but
just
so
get
cool.
just
happy
get
to
in
be
the
here.
back pocket.
So apart from the wedding, what was your story before, like wedding content, or currently, or what are you doing as well?
Experience from capturing content.
Yeah, so my life experience is all over the place. So I actually got a bachelor's degree in psychology, and then I got a master's degree from USC in social work, and I was a social worker. I worked with men that just got out of prison that had life sentences. I've worked with people that are homeless. I've worked with women and children that are living in shelters. I worked for the courts here. I've done so many different things.
It's like
And then I even was actually a 911 operator for a little bit. I answered 911 calls. Yeah.
Wow. What is that like? I want to hear stories about that. Would be a whole
Oh my
episode.
gosh. That'll be an off the podcast conversation.
They're literally.
Yeah, it was really crazy, but I definitely learned a lot from it. But when I was in grad school getting my master's was during the pandemic. And I had just recently broken up with a boyfriend that I had. I had to come back to Vegas because the world was shutting down. I had this apartment that I just signed a lease for that I had no way to pay for.
Oh God.
I come from a huge hospitality background. I mean, we're in the biggest hospitality place in the world. We're known for it. I was a server. I've done all the things. And so that's what my experiences was in college. And I couldn't do it because things were closed. And so I started just reaching out to businesses, and I'm like, I will do your social media because it was getting huge at that point. That was the only way that you communicate with customers. And I just landed like 5 social media management clients, and that's how I survived through the pandemic. And so taking that, I just started doing content. I loved it, but then I always kept my full-time job, and then kind of stepped back from it a little bit with doing 911 calls. I mean, that was really chaotic. It took up a lot of time. And then hop back in with wedding content. So it's been a journey.
Wow. Girl boss
so
completely.
Crazy. Yeah. And I feel like through
that.
COVID, like I think that's where my origin story is as well, in terms of like social media kind of blowing up over 2020, and then doing social media content and management and captions and all these things. It's like you realize just how quickly you can get a skill set, I think, for that. I know it's kind of like if you get it, you get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't get it, you'll never get
like
it.
I always love making reels, and then I always wonder why not everyone does that, and then or knows how to do it, or just like wants to do it. Like when back in the day, I was making reels for everything. Someone had an 80th birthday, reel. Someone had this, reel. Someone did this, reel. And then I'm like
For
to someone,
funsies.
I was like to someone, can you make a reel for me? And they did, and I was like, there's that, but no. I was like, just not everyone
You were
has a
that
passion
girl.
for it. Yeah.
Yes. I love
There's always that content friend in the group.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it, but we just never did anything.
Yeah, now we get paid for it.
Yeah, how good. Yay.
That's so sick. But I love that you, I guess, like, were always hustling. Like you're working full time and doing social, like
that's
during the pandemic, and then obviously seeing that there's like a wedding content gap in the market from last year. So
did you see consistent growth, or was there like a slow period and then it got busy, or what was the kind of trajectory of wedding content?
For wedding content, I took it upon myself to reach out to a lot of planners when I first started. And I'm like, I will do content for you for free. I would love to meet you. Like, I would love for just you to give me a chance and, see how it goes. And I had a handful that took me up on it, but a lot that I didn't hear from, which is okay. I didn't hear from them then. But then I did, we got some to come back.
Love that.
But yeah, took every opportunity I possibly could to have lunch, have dinner, have coffee, do an event for free, and really connect with the planners. I really think that they are the core of the wedding industry. And if they
Mhm.
trust you and know that you're going to be great with their client, then they're going to want to refer you. And I think it makes total sense. If they don't know what I'm like to work with, they don't know I'm professional, they don't know what kind of service I offer, even if they like me as a person, that doesn't mean they want to refer me to their
Yeah.
couple. So I did a lot of that. I'm all about, my quote is like, it's about the little things. So I always write cards to planners or vendors when it's my
Aw,
first time working with them, thanking them.
that is so
And
sweet.
thank you. I did that at the beginning and it was slow. It was a trickle, but I feel like it kind of all just came crashing together at once. And
Yeah.
now things have been like getting really, really busy
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Of course, right before we're about to go out of the country for a month. So
It's so perfect. Everything
Yeah.
happens for a reason, though. Like,
it
there's a
does,
reason you didn't
definitely.
start off and it went gangbusters. Like,
Mm.
it needed to all build up, and then now it's perfect timing, even though it probably
For
doesn't feel
sure.
like it.
Yeah, and I think you just get used to getting busier,
Mhm.
obviously, and as it progresses slowly, then because you're still working full time as well, so you have to be able to take on as much as you can take on
Mm.
in your own capacity. So
I do think in hindsight though, I look back and I mean, this is just me personally. I feel like I'm never satisfied. Like I feel like I can always be doing more. I should be doing more. I feel guilty for not doing more. And I wish I could look back and tell myself when I first started, like, the fact that you even booked someone, like I remember that feeling
literally,
of that I got someone to sign a contract. I
Yeah.
actually said that to my husband one
You
time when
put
we were
my
at
name on
dinner.
the dotted line for me.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, someone just sent me money and signed a contract that I wrote
It's such a
with my
crazy
lawyer, of course,
feeling.
and I'm gonna go do content for their wedding. And he's like, yeah, that's actually insane. And
Surreal.
so I wish I would have appreciated a little bit more in the moment. Like, this is
Mhm.
still a really big thing that I've
Yeah.
done. And I
Yeah.
think for anyone just starting, that's really important to like really
Enjoy the
cherish and
process.
savor. Yeah, because that you have to start somewhere.
Yeah,
And now
it's the
I'm
same
like,
with everything. Like, you look back on a relationship and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I really miss when we used to be like that." But it's like now we're looking forward to getting married, or we're looking forward to kids, we're looking forward to
the
you always,
next thing,
and then you
yeah,
look back and you're like, "Oh my god, I really should have
yeah.
enjoyed the time where we went on picnics every freaking Sunday," or something like
While you
it.
have no kids, like
Yeah, while you have no kids.
enjoy it.
So enjoy the easy, like, slow part of the business, and when you're
Yeah.
growing, like, that's so important. I love that message.
definitely.
I think though it is a muscle you have to use
Yeah.
because like you could say that now in hindsight it's 2020, right? So
Mhm.
you can look back and say, "Oh, I wish that I, you know, looked at it a bit more. I had kinder things to say to
Yeah.
myself, kinder eyes, or being able to just sit in the moment and sit in the gratitude of where you're at. You can look
Mhm.
back and say, I wish I was like that. But what you can do, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
The second best time is today. So
exactly.
what you can do is be grateful now and practice the gratitude. And I guess this is a message for everyone.
Yeah. Take it, everyone.
That yeah, you like I remember my first wedding that I booked and I was like over the moon, so ecstatic
Mhm.
just to send over the contract and the invoice and
Yeah.
see the money come in, and you're just like,
This
holy
is real.
shit,
Yeah.
like this is real, this is happening.
So
Or
cool.
Yeah, so it's definitely, I think, very common to feel that way, especially when you're starting out. You just want to keep the wheels turning, get more momentum, get more bookings and all the things, and then like grab more, grab more, grab more, and then you get to a point like now, a year in, and it's such a good point of reflection
Mhm.
to look at what are the
definitely.
lessons, what are the triumphs, what are the downfalls, all the things that I learned and what I did more than what I ever thought I could.
Mhm.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's a really good place to be at the moment for yourself, and that you've recognized that is
100%.
amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah, just I
Yeah.
think like keep that top of mind whenever a new, like keep the feeling, when you get a new
A
person
new
sign
couple,
up.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
new journey every time. It's so
Oh,
cool.
I do. I get giddy every single time someone signs a
So
contract. But
cute.
you two also have a lot to be proud of, though. I mean, you guys have done
Aw,
amazing work. So make sure that I know that you give advice and that you give these messages to everyone else, but
you're
this is
so
me now telling
sweet.
you, you need to take it in as well,
Thank
Yeah,
you. You're
absolutely.
so kind.
of course.
Um,
So sweet. What we got
oh,
next? Ooh.
I was gonna mention this actually in the last conversation when I thought about it, but like reflective processes, and like when things go wrong, what are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome that now like form important parts of your business, and what have you changed along the way because of the challenges?
I do think that challenges. One, I think, okay, one of the biggest challenges I think I've had is finding the balance between growing my business and maintaining my personal life,
Yeah.
especially with my marriage.
Yeah.
And this
I've
being
had
your
to be,
weekend job.
yes, right.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky that the full-time job I have, I mean, I have a great support system, a great boss. I'm really able to focus on work when I'm at work, and I can leave work at work. And so when I'm doing my business on the side on the weekend, I can do that. But I've had to be
So good.
really intentional about setting boundaries and making sure I'm not constantly working all the time because, like we were kind of saying earlier, it's so easy to feel guilty or anxious about missing a lead or not replying right away. But I've learned that like no one's gonna die if I don't get
No.
back to them like right this second.
Yeah.
And just taking that time to decompress and spend quality time with my husband or my friend, it's been super, super important for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other challenges, let me think. I think, oh, this is a big one. I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this. So for me, I think another challenge I've had is learning that not every client is the right fit for me.
Yeah,
Um,
how do you, navigate that?
so I mean, I was the bride who really like when I was getting married, I really took the time to choose vendors who were supportive and kind, and I really try to approach my business the exact same way and the relationships that I have with my clients. So
Mm.
now I think I'm a little bit more in the luxury space to where I don't just take anybody because it has to be a good fit on both sides. I used to chase like every lead and offer low prices and do a lot of free work just to build my portfolio.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what you
And
do, though.
that's
Yeah.
of course. And yeah,
Normal.
you have to do that and it definitely helped me
Yeah.
get started, but
But now you can
it's
choose when you
been
do that.
yes, and it's so
Yeah.
much more rewarding now that I get to focus on clients who like truly value the experience of working with
Mm.
me and understand what content is now that we've gotten to talk about it and they're so excited about it and that they just really want the service that I'm offering, not just, scanning the internet and,
Quote
trying to
surfing.
find the cheapest price. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, and I feel like you can see that if you've got, those questions in your forms or, like, in your lead magnets.
Yeah.
You can kind of see where they're at if they're just looking for a quote. And I think most people actually do write, I don't know if this is true for you, but they write like just looking for a quote. So you kind of just are able to know where they're at.
Yeah.
And then if they come back to you, then obviously they like your work plus
Yeah.
what you're offering in terms of the packages and the price and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess for your process, I guess, if someone reaches out to you and then they want to book you, do you have like a discovery call with them before you book them in? Like, do you want to chat with them first and then you kind of vet them as well on that front?
Yeah. So when I first started, I think because I come from a social media and marketing side, I focused a lot on my branding and a lot on my process. And so when I first started at the very beginning, when someone inquired with me, I did a consultation call with them that normally was like 30 minutes. And then I did a proposal and then I did a contract. And then I realized that the outcome was the same regardless of whether I had someone that was like, "Hey, I wanna book you, I wanna sign a contract right now," versus the
Yeah.
person that I spent all this time trying to talk
Yeah,
to and
winning
almost
over.
talk into it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I realized that for me, I can just feel a vibe. I'm all about energy and, like,
Oh.
I can
So
feel
we
I can
so good.
just feel, and I think, intuition, us as women, especially like our
Yes.
intuition, our gut is everything. And I've really learned to lean into that. And so I've stopped doing consultation calls. I've stopped doing proposals.
Wow.
Now, as soon as I get a
Yeah.
lead, I text them right away, it goes to my phone. Hey, we're available for your date. We'd love to chat with you if
Oh,
you'd like,
cool.
or if you have any questions, we'd be happy to hop on a 5 to 10 minute call to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah.
And I normally, during that call, will ask where they're at in the process of finding a content creator. Are they just starting to look for one? Are they inquiring for pricing? Are they doing comparison? Like, where are you at in your
Do you know what it
process?
is?
Exactly. And I make it more about
It's not
that
perfect.
Yeah.
versus I want you to hire me and here's all the things I can do for
Yeah.
you. Because
Yeah.
I was putting so much energy and effort into that and I was getting so excited and they'd be like, yeah, I want to book you. And then they wouldn't.
Nothing. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. so much time wasted.
We have a lot of ghosting in Australia at the moment. Adelaide.
Yes, I
I
have
think
that
just
too.
because the competition is getting more and more fierce.
Which is why education is important, because people are getting burnt. Like, there's just weddings where people are showing up and things are not happening how they thought they would with content. And
you get what you pay for, people.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah.
I do think that's part of it too, is I know that I'm definitely not the least expensive content creator here. I know I'm not the most expensive either, but I'm definitely not the least expensive. And so again, coming from someone that just got married, payments and money, and that is a very sensitive
it's
topic
real.
for people. Weddings are expensive, and I get it. Like, I was the first person, like my husband is a first responder, and I always would
Oh,
ask, "Hey,
wow.
do a first responder discount?" Like,
Yeah.
help a girl
Wow.
out. And that's why I offer first responder discounts to my clients, but
Yeah.
it's tough. Like, weddings are so expensive now. It's really, really hard. And so I totally get that, but at the same time, it's a lot of work, a lot of time and energy goes into it. And like you guys said, you're gonna get what you pay for. So
100%.
And I feel like what you said earlier about when you booked your creator and you just wish that you had more time with them and wish that you understood more about what it was, obviously. I think we've said this before on an episode, early days now. I mean,
I
this
know.
is like episode
It
8.
feels
So
like ages ago.
a few weeks ago, we talked about how you put so much money as a bride or a couple into the dress and the suit and the venue and the photographer and the florals and everything that you put together for your wedding. So of course you have put so much effort and time and money into this. Why wouldn't you want it all captured?
Every way possible.
Every single detail, every single, guest, everything. You just want everything covered for the whole time because you've put, like, some people put 2 years into their wedding for one day.
Yeah. And having all those people in the one spot.
Yeah.
Like, I caught the other day, I captured a grandma going for family photos. And usually I wouldn't capture family photo content as much because I'm doing canapes, but I was there anyway. And the bride and her grandma was standing there, and the grandma just looks up at her and they like laugh together, and it's the cheekiest moment. And you just wouldn't have these memories. Like, I wish I had that from my wedding day.
Like, all of that content. Even if you have a videographer, I think you're going to get that edited version of
and
the
some
beautiful.
do supply raws, like if they ask, but it's
God, that's a lot of storage.
It's a lot of storage.
And I think people don't know what to do with the raw footage from a videographer because they need, it's not color graded.
Yeah.
It looks really flat. I don't know if you've seen what video looks like without color grading, but it looks shit. That's why they spend. That's why they're so expensive, because they spend so much time on editing, and regular people don't know what to do with that type of stuff. Whereas on iPhone, most people have a phone, right?
Yeah,
iPhone usually.
Pretty good.
Then you can just download all the stuff, and it's more user friendly when you want to use the RAWs. So yeah, like to what you said earlier, being able to see all of the raw footage and you still look back on your ceremony now, it's something that's timeless. So yes, while weddings are expensive, not capturing
is more
whatever you can, like, what's the cost of that over how many years you're going to be looking back on these videos and photos.
Exactly.
So yeah.
It's not about if you like being on camera or not, because you're not in every video. It's about if you like looking at your nieces and your nephews and your grandparents and your uncles and your decor and
everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's something I think I've also had to explain to my couples too, is that just because we're capturing something does not mean that it needs to be shared on social media or put in your, highlight video or what you're putting out there on social media. If you have something like, for me, we had a private cake cutting and our content creator caught that on video for us, but I didn't share that anywhere. That was just for us to have. And so I think I know I was one of the ones that was like, I don't want any content of me without makeup on. I want to have my hair and makeup done. And now, like I said, I wish I had that, because I had that captured doesn't mean that it needed to be posted for people to see. But it could have been fun to have someone there capturing the moments of, like, me with my bridesmaids and my family getting ready, and just that morning of energy and the excitement.
Love that.
So I completely agree.
Yeah. So good. So good to share this.
Yes.
Okay. What else have we got here?
A typical wedding day in Las Vegas.
Yes,
for you.
tell us about Vegas. What's it like?
So number one, of course, coffee. Need
We
coffee.
have that in common.
Yeah,
You love
I was
coffee.
going
I
to
like
say,
chai latte.
how is the coffee in the US? Because look, Australia, we're coffee snobs in Australia, and I've
Except
had,
for me, because I don't drink coffee.
yeah, I
Sorry.
don't know, I've had coffee
Don't hate me.
overseas, and even in Italy, it was average.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah, I
Mm.
wonder how,
So
yeah,
I was just about to say, so apparently, because people that go to Europe say that, because that's where we're going. We're going to a bunch of different places in Europe in 2 weeks. And
so
everyone
good.
says that
Cool.
once you try the coffee in Europe, you're going to hate the coffee in America. So
Great.
I
Well, don't come to
know.
Australia then.
So I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I
Fair.
know for me at least, I am not, I've really gotten away from like the Starbucks and these like big chains of
Yeah,
Mm.
coffee. I like to either make it at home or go to like the smaller mom and pop shops. But
yeah.
there's a small shop that we just went to. They have like an apple pie chai latte and it's
Yum.
so good.
Wow.
Or like a rosemary latte. And they do these like really cool
What?
coffees.
Yum.
Rosemary?
So
Yum. Like a lamb roast with a rosemary latte?
yeah.
Yum.
So I
No.
think we have good coffee here, but you have to know the right places to go.
I was going to say, yeah, you have to find
Yeah, your thing.
yeah,
Matcha lattes were really big here for a while.
yeah. You have matcha over there? I don't
We
know.
do have matcha
So,
here. I'm not personally a matcha fan. I think it's really gritty, and I'm like, if I wanted to eat celery and broccoli, I would
yeah,
just do
it's
that. I wouldn't have
very
it for my
leafy.
coffee.
She
Yes.
said it real, guys. She's real.
Look, I was like that though with matcha. I
Yeah.
was like,
I remember you saying
this
that
is
actually.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And then I had it with strawberry, like a strawberry sauce, like a syrup, and it was so good. I was like, oh my god,
What
is
is
there a
that?
fly in here?
Yeah,
What's
that is
going
not a
on?
normal fly. This is literally Australia. Like, this is not a
This
normal fly.
morning, oh my god,
Oh
Oh,
my
about the
god,
seal.
did you read the message about why I was running late?
yes. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Sorry, we're going off track
Insane.
here, but people need to know.
Apparently someone this is really sad because I love animals. But when you're in a rush to get somewhere and you're in traffic where it usually takes 20 minutes to get to here, and it actually was going to take me an hour and 50 minutes because someone ran into a seal on the
Ran over.
highway. There's
I
no
could not believe when you sent me that. I was like, there's no way she's lying. That's so random. That's so
especially in
random. That
Australia.
has to be the truth.
She's like, she called me and she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late. Someone ran into a seal, and I was like, oh, a
And
seal?
it's
Like
all over the
what?
road.
And she's like, a seal, like a clapping seal, and I was like, what? Like an animal?
A
And
sea
she's like,
creature.
yeah, a seal. I was like,
Oh
what?
my gosh.
Yeah. And then the
Wait,
messages are
was the seal
saying,
okay?
well,
We
no,
don't know.
it's
I think
splattered
it's
all
dead.
over the
No.
road. I think that was the main
I need to
problem.
look this up.
But yeah, they were saying it's either a seal or a mini cow. And
What? How
Oh
would it?
my
How could you
I
gosh.
don't
tell the
know.
difference?
I think they confirmed it was a seal. But there's no
But in
ocean
Salisbury,
nearby. Yeah, there's no ocean near
I
Salisbury.
reckon someone, because seals are in Port Adelaide.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Haven't
Oh,
you seen them?
no.
No. Okay. I reckon someone like picked up a seal, put it in their ute or something. Do you know what I mean? Like how
Yeah.
else could you
That's
make that?
terrible.
I
That's
don't
so
know.
terrible.
Anyway,
This
people are
is so
weird.
off track. Sorry. Just had to share
Someone
that.
give us an ASPCA commercial. Save the
So
animals.
Yeah, save the
Why
animals.
are we taking
random.
Literally.
animals out of their homes? Why are we
Oh,
doing this?
don't leave them. I mean,
Like
leave
a
them there.
seal,
Yeah,
like a kangaroo makes
fair
sense.
enough. Yeah.
And we sound so Australian. If anyone's listening from the US, like this
Just
is not
animals.
a normal. I think that people think we like ride kangaroos to work or
Yeah,
something,
we
which
did. I
we
took my
do.
kangaroo here
No.
today.
Don't feel bad because everyone thinks that we live in hotels and casinos here.
Oh,
So
don't you?
I think no,
Do you just live in the Bellagio? Like,
that's what people think. I mean, my grandparents live in a very, very, very small town in Oregon. There's like 1,000 people there.
Wow.
And
wow.
all the time when I would go in the summer, they'd be like, "So which hotel do you live in?"
Oh my
I'm like,
god.
Oh my
So
god.
even in
Las
the
Vegas.
US, like they have a stigma.
Yeah. That's well, it is such a
Interesting.
huge place. But anyway, back to that. You
Yeah,
don't
sorry.
so
yes.
you live in a normal house?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Right now we're in
wow.
a condo. We just bought a
Condo.
we just bought a
Cool.
house actually, but we live
Nice.
in a condo right
Congrats.
now.
Oh, huge
Thank
step.
you. Thank you. All the things are
All the
happening.
things.
Yes.
Um,
Get married, go on your
but
honeymoon, get a house.
Have a
yes,
business for
Tick,
free.
tick, tick. Love it.
but yes, okay. So
So coffee,
coffee. Need coffee before we start.
of
I'm
course.
also I need a good vendor fit. Like have
Mhm.
to wear cute all black. Is all black a thing for
Yeah.
Me,
weddings
I
where
wear
you're
them
at?
quite a
Okay.
lot. Yeah.
Is it?
Where do you buy from, by the way? Can we
Yeah.
plug a little
Yeah. Where do
tips
you
and
get
tricks?
your
I've been
uniform?
loving ASOS.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
ASOS has really cute stuff. H&M has really cute stuff. I love Banana Republic. They have the best
Mm,
pants.
yes.
I need some
Um,
good pants.
Yeah.
but yeah, I love a good pant and long sleeve shirt. I do love a good dress
Mm,
too. Dresses are cute,
mm,
but pants, I just feel like I look so
Put
like a
chic.
together.
bad bitch. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah. Bad
Yes.
bitch
like
energy.
power boss woman. I'm like, I
Yes.
love
Walk
this.
in,
I'm
own that
here.
shit.
And there's pockets. Like
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
always there's
I
pockets,
can put my power bank
Yes,
here, this
exactly.
thing.
You
Yeah.
need that shit. Do you do a sneaker or a sandal? Like what's your footwear vibe?
I do either black flats. This is just me personally. I
Mhm.
am, as of right now, this may change. So if you see me in sneakers later, I'm not a liar. But
Yeah,
as of right now,
right now.
I personally do not do sneakers. I try to keep it a little bit more on the formal side. So like black
Yeah.
Sure.
flats, or I'll even if it's not a super, super long day, I'll do my black like heeled boots.
Cute.
Right, cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I could never, but
Because
I'm a sneakers girl.
Mm.
some
Mm.
vendors do like an outfit change. Like I see some planners do
What?
that, or content creators where they will have like a more casual outfit on during the day where like it's
Oh,
not full
wow.
production happening, and then they'll change into
Like
like
a
a more
dress or
formal
something.
dress or outfit for ceremony and when guests are there, which
Wow.
I totally get that. I just find it to be a little bit easier when I come
Yeah.
like ready to go for the entire day.
I have never
For the
seen anyone do
destination
that
weddings
here.
I did
Did you?
wear a guest dress like the whole day,
Oh,
and I had heels.
you hated it.
Hate like I love the weddings; they're beautiful,
Mm.
but I was in so much pain by the end of the day, and I was sweating in places I didn't even know I could sweat, and it was just like,
It is
yeah,
hot in Europe.
it was hard.
Yeah, no, I just wore like a jumpsuit to all of my European weddings, and it was just
Mm,
the same jumpsuit I got from like the Iconic,
yeah,
and
nice.
it's like the ASOS version for Australia. Um, and I still actually wore it in our last the black and
Yeah,
white
it's
one.
nice. I like it. It's a
Yeah,
good
and I
one.
get a lot of compliments on it. So I was
Mm.
like a jumpsuit, it's thin, and then I just wore
Yeah, airy,
sandals.
Good
flowy.
airflow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
love
need it.
that.
You need
yeah,
it, and it's got
You have to have a
pockets.
good staple.
good staple.
Absolutely. All right,
All
cool.
right.
So all black is a thing over in the US. That's good to know. We have like wedding blacks here as well. I think that's the
Okay.
vendor
Yeah,
photography, videography situation as well. So
yeah,
it's like blending in.
yeah.
Cool.
If I'm doing like a baby shower or birthday or something like that for some of the planners, I'll ask them what they prefer I wear, and if they sometimes they'll want me to wear like blue or pink
That's
or
cute.
something
Yeah,
that matches
cute.
the vibe more, and then I like to dress up and look cute.
Mhm.
Yeah. Love it.
But anyway, so day in the life in Vegas. So yeah, coffee, outfit. I try to make sure everything's phone's charged, all the things equipped, ready for the day. I'm also huge on like I have a backup plan for my backup plan for my backup plan.
Yeah.
So I have two phones and three portable chargers and two gimbals, and I have everything possible I could
Everything
Everything.
need.
Love
backed
it.
up.
But I'll also bring like deodorant, perfume, toothbrush, toothpaste. Like I try to
Mm,
do a retouch and like freshen up between like
Yes.
the morning portion into the ceremony portion so I don't
So
look like
good.
I've just been getting run into the ground all day.
disheveled.
I like to
Yeah.
have a fresh face like for guests. I like
Yeah.
peppy
Wow.
Could
and
you ever
cheery to
look
be there.
disheveled? I just can't imagine it
No.
right now.
Yeah. Same. God.
You guys
So
are
put
way too
together.
nice to me. I need to come visit Australia as soon as possible. Um, but then, so I feel like in Vegas, at least on the more like luxury full wedding side, it
Mm,
usually will start at like a resort, either on the strip or off the strip, because we have hotels and resorts everywhere here. Because a lot of couples will get ready at the hotel and then they'll move to a venue if it's not
mhm.
all happening at at the same place. So sometimes they'll be getting ready and have, a ceremony reception all at one place, and then other times they'll be going in different places. So like golf courses and hotels are super popular destinations here in Vegas for people to get married at. And so it's pretty normal to bounce between two or three locations in one day,
Yeah.
even for like more luxury weddings.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how Vegas flows, unless it's an elopement. And even with elopements, people are going to the mountains, and then they want to go to
Do
downtown Las Vegas to take
portraits.
photos, and then they want
Yeah.
to go to
Wow.
dinner, and then they want to do drinks at this place. So we bounce around to a lot of different
Everywhere.
locations.
Yeah.
Um, and then when I'm at a wedding, I always will check in with the planner to ask if there's anything I can do to help with. So most of the time they don't need anything, but I always just want to show that I'm there, part of the team, if
Mhm.
something comes up. And I have had a situation where the planner is like, oh my gosh, please, yes, if you could do this, if you have time. And if it's
Yeah.
not a conflict where like I'm not needing to do content at that time and it's not getting in the way of what I need to do, then I feel like I'm just there as a part of the vendor team
Yeah.
to help. And my job is content, but my role, I always think about it as you have a job and you have a role. My job is content,
Yeah.
but my role is to be another set of hands if needed and to be a part of the team to make sure that
Yeah.
the wedding day goes off without a hitch and that we make sure that this couple has the best day
Yeah.
possible.
That actually goes
Um,
really well with the quote that I shared last night, and I think you shared it as well about luxury
Oh,
not being
yeah.
surface, it's about
Service.
service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not surface level, it's
surface.
service
Yeah.
level.
Definitely. And then I think for Vegas too, we see everything. So we have a vendor for anything you can think of. And they, most of the time, it's all here. We don't need to outsource from other places. So anything from like casino tables to strolling cannolis, custom vinyl dance floors, magicians, comedians, circus acts, like
Gosh.
whatever someone wants for their wedding, like we can make it happen. Anything
Wow.
you can dream up, anything that you could do, it
Yeah,
exists.
it's
And I
possible.
think yes, and I think the best part is, of course, we're known as having some of the most amazing restaurants in the world here, and so whether
Absolutely.
it's like an In-N-Out truck, if you haven't had In-N-Out,
I
if
have
you've been to the
not.
States, you
I've
need
heard of it
to.
though. I've seen
My
it. Looks
husband
good.
just got back from Las Vegas actually, and I
Ah!
am dying to go now. I said, "That's fine, you go on a boys' trip, but I am
You know what
coming."
is so funny though? We were talking about this a couple of weeks
I
ago,
know,
and
and
then you
now you've
messaged
come into
us.
our life.
Yes, you guys need to come visit, and I
We
will show
manifested
Yeah.
you
it.
the ropes. I'm born and
Yay!
raised here, so I can take you to all the
This is
cool
the
local
trip.
places.
I just said I just
We're on
said
tour. Let's
we're
go
on
on tour.
tour. We had, I don't know if you do this, but we do cards, like angel cards, and like you take
Okay.
out it's like a motivation for the day or like a sign that you need from the universe. And I did it with my mom a couple of weeks ago, and it said, "You're going on a trip. It's going to be blessed. Like, there's going to be so many good opportunities that come out of it. You're going to meet so many amazing people, or just an amazing person. And maybe this is the trip. So we're coming."
Please
Vegas
do,
2026.
just
Yeah.
after the end of May, because I'll
Okay,
be in
done.
Europe. But after I'll
Done.
be closer to you than you are to me for the next
Done.
month. But after
True.
that, please, and honestly, don't come in the summer anyway. It is so
So hot. No,
hot
Hot.
no.
here. Come in the fall, like October, November.
Okay,
Nice.
Come
noted.
during then.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
got you. Plus, I'll have a house by then, so you're not complete
Yay!
strangers. So you can just sleep in my spare bedroom. I got
That's so
you.
Yay!
sick.
Done. Perfect. Style shoot,
So
anyone?
good. Literally. So sick.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Yeah. So good. So
Good.
yeah, I guess like with a typical wedding day, it's obviously not typical. So it's so different across everything that happens. It's not just elopements, it's not just the one venue. It can be anything and everything, which is very, I guess, similar to like our
Yeah.
experiences as well. You can have the all in one destination. Do you have a preference? Like, do you prefer it to be all in one location? Do you like going around between places?
I think for me, my so kind of like two in one answer to your question to go back to what you said with my process. I always do a 2 week call where I do have a more in-depth conversation with them about
Mhm.
timeline, where things are at, how many locations we're going to, all of that
Yep.
information to really solidify the plan. And I think for me during that call, I just care more that, like, the couple is happy that they have to move place to place, and I often
Yeah.
try to I think anytime it's gonna be easier. Like, I have one wedding coming up where everything is in one place, and
Yeah.
Cool.
I do think for timeline's sake and stress
Comfort.
sake, like, it is
Yeah.
gonna be much easier to do that. But I think on the other side, the content comes out really cool when you have a lot of different
But
locations and
different
backgrounds
options.
and
Yeah.
places and things. So I
Agreed.
don't really have a preference. I think for me, I just want to make sure the couple is happy to be doing it because
Yeah.
it makes me sad for them and they're really stressed and having to go from place to place and things are
Yeah.
running behind and I can't give them what they want because
Yeah.
now the sun has set all the
Set.
way. We didn't make it there in time.
Yeah.
So
Do you
I think,
find as a
yeah,
sorry.
understanding the timeline is
Yeah.
so important.
It is so, oh
yeah.
my God, that's so
Yeah.
real. Do you find that as a content creator, it's been like a really good opportunity for a new space where like there's always been the photographer, videographer, but now the content creator is kind of there. And I feel like we can be a bit more personal. Like I know they're personal, but we can jump in when the photographer and videographer are like doing their thing and you can tell the couple's kind of getting tired or weary or their feet are getting so, and we're like, I feel like that we're a really good opportunity there to just help and be a friend and like jump in. Have you felt like that? Or you're just like, go, go, go?
Yeah, so I'm so glad you brought this up because this is a I know that you guys have talked about this on your podcast before, is like the controversial topic of
Yeah.
wedding content creators and how, some people are not a fan of it, some people are. So I think one of the biggest things I've done to help with that is like I think at the beginning, I didn't advocate for myself as a vendor as much because I let that stigma and like
Yeah.
the stress of what everyone was saying. I feel like there was a lot of talk about how
But
controversial
it
wedding
wasn't
content
actually
creators
that
were,
bad.
but it wasn't
Yeah.
actually there.
Yeah, it's maybe
Mm.
just
And
like one
so,
person trying to
Mm.
stir the pot
Yeah.
or
right,
like start a conversation,
exactly.
and you're like, is
Rage
there
bait.
even a conversation to have here?
Like, have
Like,
we just been talking about your conversation?
literally, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh,
And I feel like I really downplayed what I was there to do because I had this fear in my head of like, what if other vendors don't like me or they don't like that I'm here or they feel like I'm going to be in the way? Because there's been so much conversation around wedding content creators being intrusive or not welcome or in the way of the photographer. And I feel like I really let that get to me early on. And so I like got to a certain point where I was like, I am going to be the complete opposite of this. And I'm going to make sure that I work with the photographer and I take the photographer's lead if they want me to.
Yeah.
Because yes, I think it's super important to be helpful and do whatever they need. So truthfully for me, I've never had a bad experience. I've been super lucky to work with vendors who are super collaborative and friendly and
Yeah.
welcoming. So looking back, I wish I had more confidence about it from the start. Um, but I think a big piece of it is just professionalism, like introducing yourself, offering help if you need it. Hey, do you want me to fluff the dress for you? Hey, the bride has a little piece of hair in her face. Let me grab that for you. Oh, you left your lens back. Can I go get that for you real quick while you keep doing your thing? Because then when I start doing that, they start offering it for me. Hey, do
Yeah,
you want to get that
exactly.
shot too? I'll hold the veil for you. Hey, do you need help with this? Okay, let
Yeah.
me do this for you.
Yeah.
And everything is fine. But I
Yeah.
think when you're new, especially in a creative role like this, it is really important to show respect, help out when you can, be collaborative, introduce yourself. I always try to be mindful of the space I'm in and support the team as a whole, but that doesn't mean that I don't get in the way sometimes. I think we all do on accident. It's
Yeah.
just what it is.
Accent.
I
Yeah.
think photo
And
and
I
video
feel so
still do
bad.
that to each other as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And, again, when I've done it, I'm super apologetic and they're super kind about it. No worries. I'm
Yeah.
not even stressed about it. It's totally fine. So, also with that, I started doing story recaps, and it's kind of what I'm known for, and I highlight the vendors for the wedding day. So I
Oh,
tag every
cool.
Oh,
single vendor in every single story, even if it's not about them.
Yeah.
And then I go through and I highlight each part of it. So say it's there's, the flower art. So I'm like, oh, the stunning floral arch for ceremony by X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
florals. And then there's a video of the planner doing her thing. The planner was, so thoughtful and intricate with all the
mhm.
details. She did an amazing job for so and so's wedding. And I go through and I do this whole recap of all
So
the
good.
vendors, highlighting everybody. And vendors love it. They
Yeah.
love it.
Of
I've gotten a lot
course.
of really great feedback from it, and I feel like it makes them see that I'm trying to highlight their work because if there were no flowers, if there was no
Mhm.
planner, if there were no rentals, if all those things were not there, there'd be no content for me to get.
Yeah.
So
It's so
true.
true.
So try to make sure
Humble.
they know I'm there to capture their work and to help them. I know that was a really long answer, but
Do
No, it's
very
you
important.
No, it's really good. It's really good. And do you share the raw content with the suppliers or the vendors as well after you've shared it with the couple? Like, what does like, do they ask you, do any vendors ask you for raw content if the couple have paid for you?
So I have been asked. I always share the content and I include it in my contract with the couple that if a planner refers me to the couple, I automatically give them like licensing rights to the content in the contract with the couple.
Yeah.
So they're agreeing that they can also use the content. And I do share the raw and the edited stuff with the planner, or whatever
Okay.
vendor that referred me. I used to do for styled shoots or anything content related, I used to give people all of the raw automatically, even if a client had hired me. And I ran into issues with that.
How so?
Not because the client didn't want it, but because I was realizing that one, vendors found it to be overwhelming. They're like, it's too much
Yeah.
raw.
There's a
Like
lot.
we'd prefer to have like a more curated selection of raw if we're gonna have it.
Yeah.
And two, I was running into the issue of vendors then creating videos or making edits with the raw themselves.
Without credit.
And maybe it wasn't to the same quality of something that I would post or what I would
Right.
envision
Mm.
for it. And then it would get posted. And of course, they would tag me, which I love that. We always want to give people
Mhm.
credit. But then I don't want people thinking that I made the
You made the
video.
You
video.
made it.
The
Yeah.
raw is just mine. So I have stopped giving the raw except for to the couple And even with the couple, I always just offer, if I've had a situation too, where I've had a couple make a video and they post it, and um, it was a very, very sentimental video. It was for a lot of family members that they had pass away, and they had made a memorial video and posted it and tagged me. And I reached out immediately because another vendor had shared it on their page, and it was the whole thing. And it was just not, one, to the quality that I would like to see, but two, I didn't feel like it did justice to what, they were trying to portray in this like super special
Mm.
and like monumental moment for them during their ceremony. So I just reached out and offered to make them that video for
Oh, that's
free.
nice.
I didn't charge them because to me, it's their content. They paid for it. Not everyone has that creative eye or knows how to do it.
Mm.
So I want to empower them to have the content that they want and show it how they
Yeah.
want to.
Were they thankful or
Um,
were they taken back?
oh yeah, yeah. She was super happy,
Oh,
and she was
cool.
just like, "Oh, I didn't know if,
Didn't want to ask
I
you.
could have you
Yeah.
do that or if that was an option." Which normally, I mean, for me, I didn't use my raw. I don't think
Mm,
that's typical. Like
yeah.
I don't just make videos with my raw content and post it.
Mhm.
But I get in that situation, that was something that, and
Mm.
normally for me, I would hope that she probably didn't think about it. People would normally mention like, "Oh yeah, I would really love a memorial video," and I would have loved to just do that from the beginning for her. But it worked out and it was beautiful, and she was
Cool.
super happy and thankful, and I was happier knowing that it was something that I had put together for her. It was better quality, and it actually represented,
Yeah.
this
The
really
event.
special and memorializing moment that she wanted. So
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Perfect.
Not many people would do that.
No.
That's really lovely. I guess we'd love to know if you have any advice for, because I know of a couple of Aussies that have been married or they've gone to Vegas to get married or to elope. Do you have any advice for Australian couples that might be coming over to Vegas, that what they should think about, or how to get started on that journey? Do you have any advice for them?
I think number one, and this is going to sound really cliche, but just do what you want to do. I think there's so many avenues that you can take here. You can go to a desert, you can go to the casino, you can go to a hotel, there's so many different landscapes or places or environments that you can get married in here. And I just think, even for myself looking back, now being in the industry, I'm like, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. And that's on top of all the opinions that you get from everybody in your life and everybody
Mm.
online and TikTok and all these influences that we have. So I would just really encourage people to sit down with their partner, really think about what's meaningful and true to them, and then use that to look into things that match that, not get talked into something that might sound good or look good, and then they don't feel like it was really true to them or what they wanted to happen.
Mm.
So that's number one. But two, I would also say be very careful, do your research, make sure that you always check that, your vendors have insurance, make sure that they have all the requirements and they need to have to actually be doing your wedding. This is everywhere. This is not just Vegas. I mean, you just should
Mm,
always do your research, make
Mm.
sure they have reviews, make sure people are talking about them, they have work, they have experience. The cheapest vendor is not always going to be the best one.
mhm,
Um, and there are elopement services here. For me, that's really attractive coming from somewhere else. I booked a wedding venue that everything came inclusive. And so I think for me, that would be something I would choose. There's multiple businesses. I don't want to say one specifically or favor one, but there's a couple different businesses that do all inclusive elopement packages where they just handle everything. You tell them what you want, you tell them what your vision is, and they do your flowers, they do your ceremony, they do your music, they have a photographer for you. You can add on content creation if you want it, and it's just handled and done. You just show up
so cool.
and
Yeah.
have a great time.
Wow.
So make it easy, make it fun, and extend your trip. Stay here and
Yes.
do something fun and enjoy your time
Aw.
here. I mean, you're
Pool
coming all the way
parties.
here, especially from Australia. Yeah, like
Yeah.
hit the pools, gamble a little, maybe not too much.
Yeah.
Um, Drink a little, not too much.
Yeah.
Um, and have fun. Like it's a
So
fun
good.
place, and there's so much to do here.
So cool.
Oh my God, I'm so
That's
excited.
perfect.
We have to go.
I know. It's happening. We're doing it.
My
And it's
hand.
the wedding capital of the world.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, what was that? Sorry.
It's the wedding capital of the world. I mean,
It
it's the
Literally.
is.
place to get
Yeah.
married.
It's the place to be.
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Goodbye, Italy.
So good.
I think
Yeah.
one thing we didn't like specific. Do you have packages like
Yeah.
in your
Or,
services
yeah.
or
Specific service
yeah?
offerings.
So package wise for me, I normally for an actual like full service wedding, which I really try to focus on, I do a minimum of 6 hours in high
Mhm.
season. So for in Vegas, at least from my understanding, I'm newer in the wedding industry, but from my understanding from living here and being in the industry now, high season is going to be like April, May, maybe the beginning of June. Then it gets really, really hot here, July, August. And then it picks back up September, October, November, super, super busy season. So during busy season, I do an 8 hour minimum, especially if it's on the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Only iPhone content. I don't do camcorder video, any Polaroid. I know there are other content creators that offer that. So if that's something that people are interested in, there's tons of different options. And if it is an elopement, which I rarely do, I still also try to do a 4 hour minimum. That way we can still get enough of your day and tell a little bit more of the story for your reel. Something that I do though is I do not I don't know if in Australia what the standard is as far as packages, but here you have a wide variety of people that maybe they offer 10 videos for like a
Mhm.
full day.
Wow.
And they say that they guarantee that to you.
Wow.
Or, you know, they have all these different guarantees or options that they give you in their package. For me, I go with a simpler is better approach, and I do not like to make guarantees. And so I always tell my couples the only thing I will guarantee you is one, I'm going to show up, of course. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure I document your day beautifully. Two, that you're going to get a highlight reel. You're going to get a highlight reel of your whole day. And then one other reel, whether it's of your choice, so we talk about that, or of, maybe you're just like, oh, I'd love to have another reel of my portraits or my ceremony. Or some couples are just like, whatever you think is going to be best. Then outside of that, if they have ideas or TikToks or other reels that they want, and we talk to the planner and we can fit time in the timeline for it,
Mhm.
everything goes to plan. We actually
So
have the
big.
time to do it and things go smoothly, then I will absolutely give them as much content as I possibly can.
Mhm.
But I do not like to guarantee it because then
No.
we're going to leave the situation with
Yeah.
upset feelings and feeling like we didn't get what we wanted out of it.
So
Yeah,
true. And
true.
no wedding day is the same. Like you could think that you've got time to do that transition reel and then it just doesn't happen in the timeline.
Or like,
So
makeup and hair's running
yeah.
late and then you've done the before and you can't do the after
Mhm.
transition and it's like, well, we got to go. Like
Yeah.
you have to go get married. This
Too bad.
TikTok does not really matter that much. So
It
I
really
mean,
doesn't.
yeah.
or it'll come down to like right before they're going to walk down the aisle and say maybe they have like 15 minutes before ceremony and we're supposed to record this TikTok. And I'm
Oh
all
my
about
God.
communication and just having that conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
Seize the moment.
hey, hey, Alexa, I know you're about to walk down the aisle and I know you really wanted to do this TikTok. It's up to you. We can either do it right now or we can just say forget it. But I want you to feel empowered to make that decision. I don't want you to feel like I didn't make the effort.
Miss
And
that.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they're like, forget it. Like, I
Yeah.
just want to enjoy and have a glass of champagne.
Yeah.
Like, let me pour it for you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Let me pour that
absolutely. I
champagne.
I do
Mm.
not want couples to be stressed about content. That
Yeah.
is the
No.
opposite of what we're there to do. We're there to help
Exactly.
capture the behind the scenes and help you relive what you didn't get to experience or see,
Mhm.
not make sure that you do that TikTok video.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like just managing expectation is a huge part of the service.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
yeah, just communicate as much as possible and give them the understanding of like what you're there to do as your role and your job on the day.
And like form a good business personal relationship. Like it's not a personal relationship, it's not a business relationship. It's like a
It's
I don't know.
both.
It's both. It's so important to have both and
Yeah,
not
it's
just
both.
be so to the book and you can just work with
and
the
cold.
moment and cold.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But
I
important.
do try to facilitate that and foster that throughout the process. So between when they sign the contract and they do that 2 week call, I give them, they already have my personal number and I tell them, share your inspiration. If you see something that you
yes.
really like, send it to me. If you see
Songs.
something that you don't like, send it to me so I know.
So
And so
yeah, what not to do.
exactly. And so then that way, like we chat throughout the time and I do try to build that relationship a little bit to open up the communication. That way, by the time that 2 week call comes, I'm like, all right, tell me what's up.
We're good.
What's happening? What's our plan?
Yeah.
Love that.
Cool. I think to finish up, there's
Preparation.
something that I want to really ask.
Okay, yeah.
What is your most exciting wedding you've done? Like the best experience you've had?
Oh, most exciting wedding I've done. I've done so many great ones. This is so
I
much
know.
pressure.
Is there like a key one?
I guess it depends on when you say exciting. Exciting because
How
of
excited were you to like make the reels? Like you
Yeah.
were just like, I can't wait
Wait.
to like
Mm,
get home and make this video because the whole day was just such a vibe.
I think the most excited I was to do a wedding was recently. I did a wedding at the Aria. And I actually had it was the planner, the photographer, and the stationarist that hired me for the day.
Oh, so
Wow.
it was the supplier
Um,
one.
yes,
Yeah,
and
cool.
what's interesting is that after the fact, when I did my story recap, the couple loved the content so much they actually ended up buying it for me and had me make them a reel.
Oh, so good.
Yay!
Love
But
that.
I loved that wedding because something that really changed the game for me was shooting in 2x all the
Okay.
time rather than just 1x.
Ah,
I feel like it really brings like a luxury feel
Oh my
to
yeah.
god.
content.
I
Yeah.
feel you so
And
much on that.
so it like changed my life. Like I
I'm
didn't
like
realize such a
to
small
Zoom all
thing would
the
be
time.
so game changing. Yeah. It really changes the game and it's something so
Mhm.
little, but during that wedding, I had a lot of conversations with the vendor team about that more editorial style content that they loved. And this wedding was elevated. I mean, it was a very high budget wedding. The family was, amazing. They've had these very extravagant events before, and I really wanted to make sure I did a good job, not only for the vendors because I absolutely adore them. They're amazing. They're artists. The planner, Vanessa from Block Events. I mean, she just did the most stunning job on this wedding. Her
So
attention to
good.
detail is immaculate. So getting to make sure that I conveyed that and then seeing it after and realizing like I did that. It was just
Yeah.
like so
Wow.
exciting and they loved it. They adored it. The reels did really well. And I think it was just getting to show those really intimate details in that
Mm.
zoomed in light and in that editorial fashion that was really groundbreaking for me because I think that changed how I started doing content from then on.
Wow.
Yeah. Amazing.
And now you
Cool.
can use that content as well to find more of those weddings and book more of those weddings because now you can put out there what you want to attract as well.
Definitely. And I think it was also gratifying, like the fact that the couple loved
Yeah.
it so much. I
Oh, yeah.
know that from my understanding, they just weren't really interested in content because that's just not really something they knew a lot about and it just was
That's
not a
such a
priority
big
for
thing,
them,
isn't it?
which
And
is
then after
fine.
the fact, people want it.
Mhm.
Yep. And then, there's quite a few, there's a planner here actually that she started a little content business because of that, because couples all the time from her posting BTS just herself on her stories,
Yeah.
they reach out and they're like, oh, we really want that. Do you have it? Can we buy it? So that was a gratifying moment for me. I think it made the team I was working with as well see as well because it's new for everybody. Content
Yeah.
creation is new in general for a
Still
lot of
new.
people, and so it was a heartfelt moment for me. It was a beautiful wedding, and it really made me feel like, okay, I did it. This is going well, and people see the value in this.
That's so good. And now you can, I guess, like when you're putting yourself in more of that luxury area in that niche, then like, because I think in your situation is quite, similar to people where you're working a full time job and then you only have so much capacity through the season, right? So you can make it worth your while if you're going to do these higher end, higher budget weddings. And then you're going to love it more as well because you're capturing something that you just love to capture and you're obviously excited to just recreate that
Yeah.
that
Help everyone relive
experience
it.
for you. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's so exciting. Oh, I can't
That
wait to
was
see where
where
you
you
go,
go.
like
Yeah.
what the next year looks like for you. I think it's going to be so sick.
Yeah. In a year from now,
Thank
book us
you.
in. We'll do another one.
Yeah. Give us the update in a year.
Yeah.
Well, when you come to Vegas, maybe we can do in person and we can do a little catch
Done.
up.
Yes.
Absolutely. On
We'll
tour.
have to get all
It's
the
happening. Like we've already said it. So
it's putting out there. It's out there in the
yeah.
universe.
It's in the
It's in the
universe.
universe. It's meant to happen.
Yes, exactly.
So good.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Hey,
Where
you're
can
amazing.
plug your stuff? Where
Yeah.
can everyone find you? Where should everyone follow you?
Love is in the air co on Instagram. I have TikTok, but TikTok algorithm is just not my friend. So I don't do a ton on TikTok, but Instagram is where I'm at. I'd love to hear people's stories, chat with other content creators. If you need advice, I'm here. Have learned so much from other content creators, so I'm always still looking for more ways to learn and perfect my craft. So please reach out. Would love to meet more people
Yay.
and connect. And thank you guys so much. You guys have been amazing. I really hope we do actually meet and you come to Vegas. I
Yeah,
know
I
we're joking
know.
about it, but please actually come visit anytime. I would love to host you and meet you. And you're doing an amazing thing. So I'm excited to see where this podcast is at soon.
Thanks.
And the things that you do. I think this is so important. And not only just spreading what wedding content creation is, but also just hearing people's stories, whether it's couples, vendors, content creators.
Mm.
You guys have such a good, positive, and approachable perspective on it. And I think it's going to go a long way. So I'm very excited to see where you go.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. That's
much.
so
You're
nice of you.
amazing.
I'm so keen. All right,
Cool.
cool.
Have a
Thank
great night.
you.
Thanks, you too.
So that was our episode with Alexis.
So fun. Breath of fresh air. Love is in the air.
She's so cute and she's
Yeah.
so pretty.
She's
my
so
gosh, if you were watching it on YouTube or Spotify,
Yep. So good.
she's such a vibe. But yeah, we honestly just had such a good time talking to her.
We digressed a little bit, but it was so worth it. She's just so easy to talk to.
We go on them.
We do then.
If you're not here for a tangent, then
Train tracks.
it's fine. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you love this episode in particular, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can send us a DM on Instagram at behindthecontent.pod. You can send us an email if you have a listener question, or if you're a creator or a couple that wants to come on as our guest.
Yeah.
We would absolutely love to have you.
Absolutely.
Shoot us an email at behindthecontentpod@gmail.com, or send us a DM.
Yeah.
Good times. We're on TikTok. Oh my God.
Yes!
I forgot to tell you guys.
We're on TikTok.
It's the same handle as Instagram, so it's behindthecontent.pod. Nothing's on there yet as of right now, which is the 7th of April.
Yeah. So by next week, there'll be 50 videos. Just joking.
Yeah, probably. All of the backlog. So follow us on TikTok. We're going to put some other BTS of the BTS on there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good times. But yeah, that'd be great.
Tips, tricks, and more.
Yeah. Good fun. And just us being
And
stupid.
fucking funny experiences.
Fucking funny. Fucking funny, guys. Because we're fucking funny. Great.
Right, thank
Thank
you.
you. We will catch you on the next episode.
Love you
Leave us a
lots.
review as well, 5 stars.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.